12:30 Eastern on Fox. Later tonight, the Dodgers take on the Padres 9 Eastern over on FS1, or stream it all on the Fox Sports app. Monday Night Football last night. Travis Kelce, 4 touchdowns in the Chiefs' 30-29 comeback win against the Raiders. The Super Bowl champ holds the receiving record for most receiving yards in a single season for a tight end at just over 1,400. He also holds the record for most consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards as a tight end with 6. Shannon, you might know a thing or two about stellar tight ends. Has Travis Kelce now become the greatest tight end ever?
No, but I believe he's on his way. I believe when it's all said and done, he's going to be top 3 catches, yards, and touchdowns in those categories. 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's what wide receivers do. Tight ends do not do that. Even in my best, I had 3. Was finished 5 yards short of 4. I think Tony had like 4. I think Gates had Tony Gonzalez. I think Antonio Gates. I think he had like 3 or 4. But 6 consecutive, and he has All-Pro, 6 All-Pro, 3 first team, 3 second team. He just turned 33. He's 5th in receiving yards. He's 700 away from me. He'll pass me this year. He's 6th in catches. He's gonna pass Greg Olsen next week. He's 600 behind Tony. He's 6th in touchdowns. He's 54 behind Gates. So I believe when it's all said and done, he'll be top 3 in all 3 of those categories. Right now, and I've said this before, and I don't have have no problem saying this, I believe Gronk is the greatest tight end to have ever played. But the thing that Kelce is going to have is that he's going to have longevity, and his numbers are going to dwarf his. Now, if he can get another Super Bowl, and so that's why I give Gronk, because Gronk was so dominant, Kelce is equally as dominant, but those 4 Super Bowls, Skip, that's the difference maker right now. So if he can get another Super Bowl or 2, it's going to be hard for me to put someone in front of him. He's not the greatest currently, but I believe when his career is done, when he walks away, because I believe he still has another 2 or 3 years, at least in his prime, and he's playing with Mahomes. And that's what Gronk was able to do. Gronk was able to play with Brady his entire career, and when he felt like Brady, now I don't want to play no more, he went back up with Brady again, got more catches, more touchdowns, and another Super Bowl. So I think if if Kelce can play another 3-4 years with my homeboy, and they can get to another Super Bowl and win it, when it's all said and done, his numbers, I'm going to have to put him number 1.
Okay, because you have proclaimed Rob Gronkowski number 1 overall.
Yeah.
That was in 2016 you did that. All right. My first question back to you as a Hall of Fame tight end is, what's the definition of a tight end? Because
it's evolved over the years.
I'd say.
It used to be you had to do some blocking. Now these guys do minimal, if any, blocking. They split out the lion's share of the time. He might line up at a natural tight end position, which is in line, which is at the next beside the offensive tackle, or left or right, with his hand on the dirt. He might do that 5 times a game. Other than that, he's in the slot. He's split out wide. So they've really turned this position into a true receiving position.
Because you can make a case, Rob Gronkowski has been the greatest blocking tight end ever, on top of being able to catch the way he catches, right?
Yes.
So he's definitely the definition of a tight end, right?
He's the old school, the guy that caught the ball and blocked.
Okay. I'm going on eye test. Gronk gets open. I'm hoping he's still going to come back in November, but you think you're leaning toward no.
I don't think he's coming back.
Okay. Well, you could be right about this. I think Brady misses him and needs him dearly. But when I watch him run routes and get open, it's almost like he's boxing out safeties, cornerbacks, linebackers, whoever's trying to cover him, because he's so huge, but he's not moving that quickly.
No, he's not robotic like Gronk.
No. Okay.
He's more fluid.
Gronk is total robot. He's Frankensteinian, if I could. Because he, boom, boom, boom. He's lumbering, and then he's boxing out, because if Brady throws it over here, whoever's trying to guard him, maybe 2 people, they just can't get to the football because he's too big and strong, and he's 6'6"-ish, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Travis Kelce is 6'5", 250-ish, right in that ballpark. And he moves like, what did you play at, 228?
228.
Like okay, he's moving like he's 228.
He moves like a much smaller man. He does.
He does. He is shifty. He is quick. He is the essence of a route runner. And the closer you get to the goal line, the better his routes get. Because when they're inside the 10, he's unguardable. It's so quick. It's so skilled. It's so creative. It's so clever. he's moving at a speed both mentally and physically that you can't cover. It's pow, 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 pow. And the cuts are so quick. And Mahomes is right in sync with him. They have they have all-time great rapport.
I watch it, but I'm like, why did I not get not covered like they? Bro, who you think they're going to throw the ball to down here, Raiders?
Come on. 4 times, so he catches a grand total of 25 yards worth of passes, 4 of them for touchdowns, and they're all great.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Skip, I had a game against Kansas City where I caught 10 passes for 60 yards, and I felt bad. I'm like, I only got 60 yards.
25 yards?
He got 25. He got 4 tubs.
Do you think Kelce felt bad after this game?
No.
Hell no. Okay, and look at these routes. And then the one where he stiff arms this one all the way across, he goes, yeah, here we go. Stiff arm, and then just fight and just guts it out at the goal line. He can really run after catch. He does serious damage because he can really move. I don't know what he runs the 40 in at 30. What is he just turned 33? October 5th. But he is such a great target because you can hit him underneath and he will wheel out of it and get you 12 or 15 more yards.
The thing, both guys both Gronk was tremendous run after the catch also. But I think Skip Gronk his pads were so big. He had those big old hockey. He had the big pads on, and he was much harder to get on the ground once he got ahead of steam than Kelce. You're right. Kelce is better of a route runner, more of a technician. He's more technically sound than Gronk. But I just think, and I told Gronk this, I would have loved to see you stretch together 3 years in which you played every single game. Because, Skip, he had the knee injury, he had the elbow injury. It was always something because he was I ain't tackling Gronk up high. I'm going to hit him from the knee down. And I don't feel bad because that's the only way I can get his big old butt on the ground.
And every time somebody hit him below the waist, I would go, oh, God. Is that it?
Right, because, Skip, he was so big and he was so robotic, is that it changed the direction. So he could see him coming, but his body just couldn't move because he was so big. But I think if Kelce can put together another 3 years at his current pace, Skip, with a Super Bowl, it's going to be hard for somebody to deny him because he's going to be top 3. I mean, he's going to be, he's going to be well over 1,000 catches. He's probably going to end his career. I don't know if he can catch Tony as far as catches because I think Tony got 1,300.
It's unbelievable.
And I think he has 15,000 yards. I don't know if he can get to that number.
Okay, but just me using my eye test, just watching it on TV, when I flash back on Gronk or Tony Gonzalez or Gates or this guy is moving at some speed I've never seen for this position. As far as route running, pass catch, and by the way, his hands aren't good; they're real good.
I think the thing is now, Skip, and they throw the ball a lot more. I mean, if you're not catching a whole lot of passes when you got TD running for 2,000, you're not catching a whole lot of passes when you got guys going for 1,700 in your backfield. But
you're talking about you in Denver. With
TD ripped for 2,098, 1,750, 1,500.
You're not. Well, that's the Troy Aikman syndrome. You talked about how few yards he threw for. Well, he's got Emmitt Smith.
You got the guy that got 18,000 yards in your backfield.
Okay, well, that's what happened.
You're not throwing for 400.
No.
But Skip, he's phenomenal. I mean, and to do it game in and game out, they know he's going to get the ball. I mean, I like to think everybody at home knows he's going to get the ball. Everybody in the stadium knows he's going to get the ball. You watch the 4-game cut-up in which Mahomes looked for it, and somehow he finds himself open in the end zone, or he finds himself with 100 yards after every game.
And now to your biggest point about Gronk, I'm going to knock on wood before I say this. Kelce manages to avoid those lethal, quote-unquote, kind of plays where the hits, where he's shifty enough that he's so slithery for 250 pounds. We're talking about next evolution.
Yeah, that's what we call that wiggle, Skip.
Big wiggle. And nobody seems, I'm sure he gets hit hard, but I don't see shots where I say, oh, God.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
He seems to be able to protect himself.
And what he was, Skip, I played 14 years, but I missed the equivalent of an entire season with injuries. I missed 16 total games because of injury. So you project that out, I probably would have had 900, maybe another 1,000 yards.
Maybe.
If you look at Kelce, I think he's only missed like 3 games. I think Gonzalez only missed 1 game in 17 seasons.
That's phenomenal.
In 17 seasons.
Okay, but to my eye test, Kelce's moving at a speed that Tony never moved at.
Yeah.
Tony was a basketball player.
Yeah, post you up, you jump up and catch the ball, high point the ball. Was very good with catching the ball in traffic.
This man is something.
He's special. He's special.
Yeah. And his rapport with Mahomes is special.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, Skip, you can get one of these quarterbacks that's young. You're young. You can stretch it out. I mean, I would have loved to have John my entire career. Or, came in and instead of, all of a sudden I was a high draft pick, they put me in and found a spot for me. Had to work my way up, get off special teams, build a confidence to show Dan Reeves that I could do it in a game situation, build a confidence with John that they can count on me in game situation. So it took me a little while, but once I got going, and then here come Ed and Rod coming in stealing some of my thunder.
They did.
But that's okay. I wouldn't have got Super Bowls without those guys. So
no.
I would gladly take a few less catches and a few years less yards to have those rings.
I don't know about that.
I really have the ring. Every time I get together with Gates and Gonzalez, I go, hey, everybody put their hands on the table.
Yep.
Damn, I say, everybody, I don't want to see no wedding rings. I want to see some jewelry that we got from the NFL because we all played.
Well,
when I got that.
Well, when you get together with Gronk, you got a problem.
So now me, Gronk, and Kelce.
Boom.
So I'm looking at all these other guys. I look at Witten. I look at Gonzo. I look at Gate. I said, Ozzy, you had to hire me to get you a ring, Ozzy. I tell Ozzy all the time. I don't mess with Big K2, the original Winslow Sr.
Yeah.
But all the rest of you guys, they already know. We get together.